analysis on this third and final debate. We're joined by Michael Schur, who's a political analyst, and he's in Las Vegas. Michael, so what is your take on Donald Trump's refusing to say whether or not he will accept the outcome of the election?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's sort of unprecedented in American politics to do that. America prides itself on the peaceful transition of power. Even in 2000, when George W. Bush and Al Gore, the vice president at that time, had a very tight race. It went down to Florida. It took all the way until December to decide the race. At that point, once the Supreme Court spoke, Al Gore accepted the results. But it was different. It wasn't a question of not accepting it all the way on principle. It was that the votes didn't look right and something seemed amiss in Florida. This is the first time in anyone's memory who follows this stuff very closely that you've seen a candidate for president say, well, I'm not sure that I'm going to accept the results. And what was interesting, too, is that this was the last of the debates that they had in this election cycle, in the 2016 election. The very first debate was in August of 2015. Donald Trump was asked to take a pledge then that he would support whoever the nominee was. No one predicted at that point it would be Donald Trump, so people wanted to see if he would actually run as an independent. And it turned out that the people who took that pledge are the ones who've had to come to him grudgingly now. The very last debate, he had to take his own pledge, and he refused to do it tonight. So there's a little bit of bookending here, and it is certainly the thing that everyone is talking about here in Las Vegas tonight.
Now, experts are saying that Donald Trump showed a more disciplined, more composed version of himself, despite, of course, that big controversial statement. What is your take on this? Was that really the case? Was Donald Trump the winner tonight, or is it hard to tell?
To call him the winner, it's very difficult. I mean, yeah, I would agree with what you say. Yes, he was more measured. Yes, he did get into the sort of the minutia of some of these issues more than he has in the previous two debates. And he seemed more prepared for this debate, certainly, than any of the others. However, you know, he's a little bit damned if you do, damned if you don't. He came out swinging in the first debate, saying things that, you know, people are shocked to hear in a presidential debate. He repeated it in the second. Secretary Clinton just kind of let it go, let him do the work to either, you know, build himself up or destroy himself as a candidate. Now, it hasn't worked because in the ensuing weeks, the tape came out. There have been some, you know, sort of unsavory things said in this you know, debate on the whole, this presidential campaign. But what you saw tonight was Donald Trump coming in more prepared. But what does he do? He meets a Hillary Clinton who was also prepared. And on a lot of these issues and a lot of these conversations, she was able to outmaneuver him. So yes, I would agree on one hand that in fact he did do a much better job of laying out issues, talking in detail about some of his plans. But on the other side of the coin, he wasn't able to do it as well because Hillary Clinton's very good at these things.
All right, thank you very much for that, Michael Schur from Las Vegas.